Imagine a world where ancient builders created structures so advanced that even today we can't fully explain how they did it. What if the story of our past is not as simple as we've been told? What if, buried beneath the sands of time, lies evidence of civilizations that possessed knowledge we can only dream of, knowledge that has since been lost? Today, we journey to the very edge of history to investigate the most mysterious megastructures on Earth. We will explore colossal monuments and impossible artifacts that defy conventional explanation. And in doing so, we will ask a forbidden question. Could ancient architecture be the last remaining evidence of a forgotten chapter in the human story? A chapter where humanity reached a technological peak only to lose it all. Our journey begins in modern-day Turkey, at a site that has rewritten the timeline of human civilization, Göbeklitepe. As the sun rises over these ancient hills, it illuminates a temple complex that, according to everything we thought we knew, simply shouldn't exist. Built more than 11,500 years ago, Göbeklitepe is older than the pyramids of Egypt, older than Stonehenge, older than the very invention of agriculture and pottery. It predates writing, metal tools, and the wheel. It was built by people who were, by all accounts, simple hunter-gatherers, and yet, look closer. The site is a breathtaking arrangement of massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some standing over 18 feet tall and weighing up to 10 tons. These monolithic stones were quarried, transported over considerable distances, and erected with remarkable skill. They are covered in intricate carvings of animals, foxes, snakes, boars, and lions, all rendered with an artistry that speaks of a sophisticated culture and a complex belief system. Mainstream archaeology suggests that hunter-gatherers living in small, nomadic bands would have been incapable of organizing the labor, resources, and planning required for such a monumental undertaking. It implies a level of social organization and shared purpose that we previously only associated with settled agricultural societies that appeared thousands of years later. So, how did they do it? How did a prehistoric people, with only the most basic stone tools at their disposal, achieve such a feat of engineering? The official narrative leaves us with a profound mystery. Did they possess a different understanding of physics, a forgotten technique for manipulating stone? Or is the story of our ancestors far more complex than we've ever imagined? Göbeklitepe stands as a silent testament, its purpose still debated, its builders still anonymous, challenging the very foundations of our understanding of the ancient past. From the dawn of civilization in Turkey, we now travel to the sands of Egypt, to a monument that has captivated the human imagination for millennia. The Great Pyramid of Giza. It is a structure so iconic we often take its existence for granted. But when we examine the details of its construction, the mystery only deepens. This is not just a pile of stones. It is a marvel of mathematical and astronomical precision that would be a challenge to replicate even today. Consider its alignment. The Great Pyramid is oriented to true north with an accuracy of less than 1/10th of a degree. This is a level of precision that modern compasses struggle to match, and it was achieved over 4,500 years ago. How did the ancient Egyptians, without satellites or modern surveying equipment, achieve such a feat? The geometry is just as baffling. The pyramid's base is an almost perfect square, with the length of its four sides differing by less than 2 inches. The entire structure, composed of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing over 80 tons, was leveled to within a fraction of an inch across its entire 13-acre footprint. And then there are the interior shafts. For centuries, they were thought to be simple ventilation shafts. But in the 1960s, researchers discovered they aligned perfectly with specific stars and constellations, such as Orion and Sirius. These alignments were not random. They were deliberate, pointing to a sophisticated understanding of astronomy that seems far ahead of its time. Some of these star positions were only identifiable through complex mathematical calculations that scholars believed were unknown to the Egyptians. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. This was the result of profound and precise knowledge. Knowledge of mathematics, of engineering, and of the cosmos. Where did this knowledge come from? Was it developed independently in a sudden explosion of genius? Or was it inherited, a legacy from an even older, forgotten source? The Great Pyramid stands not just as a tomb for a pharaoh, but as a question mark written in stone, challenging us to reconsider the capabilities of our ancestors. Our next destination takes us to the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon, to the ruins of Baalbek. Here, amidst the remains of a grand Roman temple complex, lies evidence of a building project so colossal it defies all logic. The Romans built their magnificent temple of Jupiter upon a pre-existing platform, a platform made of some of the largest worked stones on the entire planet. In the quarry, a short distance away, lies a block known as the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. This single, monolithic piece of limestone weighs an estimated 1,000 tons. That's the equivalent of 2 fully loaded Boeing 747 airplanes. Nearby, an even larger block was discovered, tipping the scales at over 1,200 tons. These stones were perfectly cut and shaped, ready for transport. But the most staggering part of the puzzle is at the temple platform itself. Forming one of the foundation walls are 3 colossal blocks known as the trilithon. Each of these stones weighs approximately 800 tons. They were quarried, moved over a significant distance, and lifted more than 20 feet into the air to be placed with perfect precision into the wall. Let's put this into perspective. Even today, with our most advanced technology, lifting and moving a 1,000-ton block would be a monumental logistical challenge. Only a handful of specialized cranes in the world could even attempt it. Yet, someone thousands of years ago not only moved these stones, but positioned them with architectural finesse. The Romans, for all their engineering prowess, left no record of having moved these specific megaliths. In fact, many researchers argue that the trilithon and the quarry stones predate the Roman construction, belonging to an earlier, unknown phase of building. So, who were these original builders? What forgotten technology or technique did they command that allowed them to manipulate such impossible weights? Baalbek forces us to confront a humbling reality that ancient peoples may have possessed capabilities that we, in our modern arrogance, have tragically underestimated and forgotten. From the Middle East, we cross the globe to the high plains of the Andes in Bolivia, to a site that presents a mystery of a different kind, Puma Punku, part of the larger Tiwanaku archaeological site. Puma Punku is a field of scattered stone blocks that look less like ancient ruins and more like the debris of a futuristic construction kit. The stones here, made of incredibly hard diorite and andesite, are worked with a precision that seems utterly impossible for a culture that supposedly lacked writing and the wheel. We see blocks with perfectly straight edges, flawless right angles, and surfaces that are polished to a mirror-like smoothness. Most famously, we find complex cuts and interlocking shapes known as H-blocks, which are all uniform in design, as if they were mass-produced. The cuts are so precise that you cannot fit a razor blade between the stones. There are interior corners and drilled holes that defy explanation. How could any craftsman, using simple stone or bronze tools, achieve this level of perfection on one of the hardest types of rock on Earth? Modern engineers have stated that to replicate these cuts today, you would likely need computer-controlled, diamond-tipped cutters or laser technology. The official timeline places Puma Punku's construction around 1,500 years ago. Yet, no tools have ever been found at the site that can account for this extraordinary level of stonework. The sheer precision has led some to speculate about advanced, lost technologies. Were the builders using sound frequencies to shape the stone? Did they have a lost chemical process for softening rock? The ruins of Puma Punku offer no easy answers. They simply present us with an undeniable fact. Something happened here that we do not understand. It is a place where the line between ancient artistry and impossible technology becomes irrevocably blurred. Göbeklitepe, the Rewrote Pyramid, Baalbek, Puma Punku. These are not isolated anomalies. Across the globe, From the intricate walls of Sacsayhuamán in Peru to the submerged structures off the coast of Japan, we find echoes of the same profound mystery. This has led a growing number of researchers to propose a radical idea: the lost knowledge theory. This theory suggests that we are not the first, that one or more ancient civilizations reached remarkable peaks of scientific and engineering achievement long before recorded history. They may have had a deep understanding of astronomy, mathematics, geology, and perhaps even physics that we are only now beginning to rediscover. And then something happened. A cataclysmic event, perhaps. A sudden climate shift, like the younger Dryas impact theory. A global flood, as remembered in myths from nearly every culture on Earth. A devastating war or a slow, grinding decline. Whatever the cause, this advanced knowledge was almost completely wiped out. Like a great fire consuming a library, the wisdom of an entire age was lost to the world. All that remains are the survivors, the myths, the legends, and these impossible stone structures. They are the fragmented pages of a lost chapter of human history. They are the silent witnesses to a forgotten golden age, built by people who knew more than we give them credit for. According to this theory, the history of humanity is not a simple, linear progression from primitive to advanced. Instead, it may be a cycle of rising and falling, of gaining knowledge and losing it again. So, what do you believe? Are these ancient megastructures simply the product of unimaginable human labor and ingenuity, their secrets waiting to be explained by conventional means? Or are they monuments to a past that has been deliberately forgotten? Were they built with knowledge that humanity once possessed, a legacy from a world that vanished beneath the waves of time? The answers remain buried, waiting for those brave enough to look. Perhaps the next great discovery is just beneath our feet, waiting to rewrite history once more. Tell me your theory in the comments below. And if you want to continue exploring the shadows of our ancient past, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.